We're not on?
Now we're on.
Now we're on?
Now
Are
we're
you
on.
sure?
Sorry about that.
Hey.
I clicked the wrong button.
We're done. Just turn it off.
It's on par with how it
Are we
usually
on,
goes, right?
really?
We're on, really.
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Try that again. We're back for another episode, and we have a special guest tonight, so that's cool. This is Kris from Crashbox Customs. He has a website, Crashbox, is it .com? I don't.
Crashbox Customs.
Yeah, .com. Yeah. I want to make sure it wasn't like.
No GeoCities or Angel Fire or any of that
Tripod.
kind of stuff.
And you have a YouTube channel, Crashbox Customs.
It's a horribly underutilized YouTube channel. I should probably be better at doing that, but there's some videos up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. And it basically, we'll get into what you do here in a minute as when I hit record for the podcast. But thank you all for joining us tonight. So feel free to chat in the live chat and ask us questions. If you got any questions, feel free to ask the questions and we'll get the questions answered on air. And I think some moms are going to be here tonight, so you know it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to laugh at you guys because Katrin's mom is probably going to pop on and Chris's mom is going to hop on.
Well, not on the
No, not on the show.
Just in
the chat. So that means that we can...
Yeah, that would be really awkward if they actually were on the show.
Hi, guys.
Well, surprise.
Well, here they go. Click.
Yeah.
It's like that old show, This Is Your Life.
So I did want to mention that, our parents do know each other. And I did want to ask, so, my parents got into this whole RV lifestyle a couple years ago. Were you under the same impression I was that it was just a big swingers club?
No.
Okay, well, so maybe I was misinformed about what it was exactly. Something to do about having coffee. I don't know. It's just very, very interesting to see my parents go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
so to speak.
No.
And then my dad's cousin and his wife started coming too, and I'm like, I mean, we're from Alabama, but we're not from Alabama, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
Not LA.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You knew I had to get that. I had to get that off because of this bizarre small world connection we've stumbled upon.
We can just let Kris and Katrin talk. You and I can.
Oh yeah,
show about RV life.
No, listen. I know little to nothing about the RV. I know that I can barely fit it. I'm 6'7", so I have a hard time fitting in an RV.
Oh wow. I bet.
Yeah. So
that's funny. Yeah, they enjoy it, and it seems like fun. It's everybody's dream, I guess. But
everybody's dream. I don't know if it's literally everybody's dream.
A lot of people's dream to just travel around.
Part of my dream now. I don't know.
So my parents are going to be in Maine this summer, which is pretty awesome.
I have too much stuff. I'd have to have like a second RV just for all my collectibles and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, they have a storage unit to keep stuff so that they can swap things out. But they don't have a house. I mean, that's their house.
Oh, so your parents are full time.
They're full time.
I didn't. So my parents are not full time.
They've been doing it for like 10 years or something.
Oh, nice. So they've gotten to know a lot of people,
pros.
Huh?
Yes.
Bonnie's here. Bonnie's on.
She's there. Mom's here.
Yeah. Well.
All right, we ready to start recording?
Just wanted to get all the good stuff out of the way early, all right?
Yeah.
The meat and the potatoes, so to speak.
I'll just be like, if you want to hear the good stuff, you need to be on the live stream because it gets.
That's right.
That's where it all goes.
That's where it all goes down. We had people on last week, and we ended the podcast like recording it, but we were still on YouTube, and they didn't know we were still on YouTube, so they started talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, we're still on YouTube, and they're like, oh, okay. Sorry about that.
So we had to edit that.
Anyways, all right, here we go. You guys ready? So I'm gonna count us down. I'll do the big intro. I'll hype you up and all the stuff. And then
thanks. I need to be.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
yeah.
Yeah, do your best.
Oh,
Do your best.
It's a
Challenge
challenge.
accepted.
Put me over, man. Put me over.
all right, here we go. Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 179. I'm Ryan, and I'm joined by my brother Kris and our good pal Katrin. And tonight we have another very special guest that we're excited to have with us. It is Kris from Crashbox Customs, and these things are cool. Crashbox Customs is really cool. It's like I'm into action figures. I've got a ton of them. He takes action figures to a whole nother level by designing basically scenes for them to be in. So they're not just sitting on the shelf, but there's all kinds of stuff, and he's going to tell you all about it. But Kris, welcome. And another Kris. We got
Another
two Chris's on this show.
Yeah.
Well, my parents blessed me by spelling mine with a K, so at least I can say I have a bunch of trophies from my childhood that are spelled incorrectly that would fit perfectly into your lives. And I have, at this point in my life, given up on correcting people on how I spell my name, but it's okay. Yeah. Thank you for having me tonight, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So we'll just call you Kris with a K for the rest of the time.
Hey, listen, I've been called worse. What I love is when I get an email, like with a work email, that they've obviously typed in my email address spelled correctly, and it's hello, Kris, CHRIS. So oftentimes I'll reply back and spell their name wrong on purpose just to see if they even.
Well, it's like my last name. I've almost stopped correcting people because it's Katrin, and we get Carton or Catron or Catron, or which, I mean, it's understandable, but it's like it's really easy because if you know the word patron or matron, it's the same word, Katrin, but I've just kind of given up on it.
I thought it was Catron the whole time.
Oh, I know.
You could use, and then Catron. You could say it's a Latin name.
Right. Oh, I've gotten that too.
Well, I won't get into the fiasco of a last name I have on the air, but it's brutally destroyed on the regular to the point where I make telemarketers actually say it correctly before I hang up on them. So.
Well, ours is Street, and every time we say Ryan Street, they go, "How do you spell that?" And I'm like, like the road you drive on? Oh, Street. Yes.
I was talking to someone one day. I don't remember what the situation was, but let's just say their name was Bill, then some incredibly long, a lot more consonants and vowels in the name. And they're like, so it's Bill, Bill, Hammer, Schweich, and Fresh and Farsh. You spelled Bill for me, but you didn't spell your
Bill.
Yeah.
That's all.
Confusing part. Well, Kris, thank you for joining us tonight. Talk to us. Tell us about what Crashbox Customs is all about.
So Crashbox Customs is display art for your collection. So we started out 2015, me just making a mess on the kitchen table with foam. I had some friends that were doing some diorama stuff, and I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. Get into this. People kind of liked what we did. First, we started out doing like backdrop pieces for Transformers, Autobot, and Decepticon logos, and it's kind of spiraled from there into doing city scenes and whatnot. We moved from Alabama to Maryland back in 2017, and just kind of from there spiraled out of control into the business it is today. We worked with at this point the business is my wife, myself, and my oldest son. There's three of us that work on this side project. In 2020 being what it was, I worked from home, and my wife's at home, and my son is now at home with us too. So, we have done work for Mezco Toys, another toy company that doesn't really exist anymore. So we won't even mention their name on the air. But it does not rhyme with Megalopolis. And we started last year doing the Mythic pieces, the Mythic Legion stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that toy line or not, but it's been hugely popular last year and starting this year. And we've got the set we've got up for pre-order right now is the Complex, which is kind of a sci-fi-ish facility place that's it's been real popular. We've done a lot of work for Mezco Toys. Like I said, we've done their show displays. We continue to work with some of their artists, The Amazing in particular, coming up with ideas for some of the stuff that they're using for the promo pictures and whatnot. So we've got a lot of equipment. We got 2 CNC routers, an 80-watt laser cutter, arsenal of 3D printers, just trying to come up with new ideas, unique ideas, thinking outside the box, to make people's collections come to life. And photography is another big part of our strategy is finding pieces that people can use to come up with really cool photos of their action figures, which is a huge, I guess it's huge. It's huge to me. Huge thing online is people doing toy photography.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool. So you guys fabricate everything there at your place? Right?
Yeah. So everything from, the design to the material, assembly, to, paint, everything's done here in house. Yeah. The only thing that wasn't done in house is, we did some partnership with iamGEEK Customs, which is a company that produces basically aftermarket parts for Mythic Legions figures. And we did a set where they did some statues, and they printed them, and we either sold them unpainted, or my wife actually did a great job painting the ones that people requested that way. But yeah, so everything's here in house.
So for the ones on the website, like what size figures do they work best with?
So everything we designed is for the 1/12 to 1/10 scale figure. So you think your Marvel Legends up to your like your NECA stuff. Okay. In that pocket, Mezco, 1/12 Collective, the Mythic Legions stuff, like the new G.I. Joe stuff. Anything like that is what that's designed for. In the complex set, you could use even like 3 3/4 figures. It's going to be a big place for them, but it would definitely work.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of them right now. And then materials, you said it's mostly foam, or?
So we use a variety of materials. The big component of what we use is XPS foam, either the pink, using some of the green stuff. It's mostly the foamular pink, the Pink Panther foam, a lot of people call it. And we also use PVC sheeting. And since we've got the laser cutter working now, we're using a lot of MDF and acrylic. So it's a combination of materials.
Gotta ask, what kind of laser cutter do you have?
So it is called a black and red Chinese laser. It technically has no name, but it's kind of an open source thing. It's a very big machine. I don't know how big it is. It takes up a big spot in my garage. It's probably the size of like 2 ovens next to each other. It's an 80-watt laser, so it's got, I think it's a 24 by 20 inch bed. You can cut out a lot of stuff with it. So nice. The learning curve has been pretty sharp on that. Luckily, the software wise was pretty easily learnable from some of the other software we use for the other equipment, but the nuts and bolts literally of this machine has been a little challenging. My wife is she's our technical wizard around here. So if something breaks, she's the one that fixes it. I just run around screaming like a chicken with my head cut off. So
sounds good. Yeah, I had to ask because me and my wife not too long ago got a Glowforge.
Man, we looked at the Glowforge, and we had Glowforge in the cart ready to check out. And the reason we went with the other laser was the size bed that you could get with it. And we were pretty confident based on our dealings with CNC machines that we would be able to figure out any issues there were. And we have. I say we loosely because my wife does a lot of that stuff. Nice. Do you like your Glowforge?
We like it a lot. Yeah, it's been really nice. It's we just kind of been doing like little things like ornaments and various things. We're just started really getting going on it and really starting to explore what we can do with it. But it's really nice. Yeah, we haven't had any problems with it. And there's a big community kind of surrounding Glowforge. So if there is any questions, it's easy to kind of.
They should use that review for their website. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It is. It's really nice. I don't know. It's a laser. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's hot, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna attach a shark to it.
It's really hot. Actually, I burned my arm today, actually, and I burned my finger the other. Yeah, I'm really good at that. So.
So when you go for the complex, for example, when you start out, okay, thinking of what's your next product to put on your website, like, could you take us sort of through your thought process, like how you come up with, okay, if we're going to do sci-fi, this is what it's going to look like, and this is what we're going to base it on, because I'm guessing you have to sort of keep it, unless you're working for a company, you sort of have to keep it generic and out of your own brain, so you don't have to worry about Star or Disney or Star Wars.
Well, you want it to be used by
Yeah.
a bunch of different.
Well, yeah.
things.
So we, the first thing I have to think about is when we first started doing this in the volume we're doing. So I'll just start at the beginning of last year. We did Toy Fair for Mezco, which was 5 dioramas in, oh gosh, I think we had them done in less than 30 days. I mean, these, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're basically the three, and they were 360 finished, all of them. There was no hiding anything. They were towers,
Oh, wow.
all of them, except one was a cave with a gold pile on top of it. But right as that, was ending, as I actually got to go to Toy Fair.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun experience. Literally, as soon as that was over, the world stopped, So last year, let me back up. 2019, a big chunk of our business came from doing convention shows, stuff for conventions, right? For them. And I'm like, well, we're going to have to modify our business model this year because that business isn't going to be here. So we had done earlier in the year, we had also done something for Megalopolis. It was the Mythic Hall. It was this great big Mythic piece. Well, it was the predecessor to Mythic Pieces. It was this huge piece with the windows and doors and the arches and everything. And, I posted it and did a video on it, and I had a lot of people say, hey, how much is this if I want to buy this? And I told them the price, and it was considerable because it's a huge thing. And I had several people like, well, if you ever decide to sell a smaller version of this, a broken down version, then I've always said in my head that, if we could make a modular diorama system where you buy whichever pieces you want and use them however you want. I don't want to tell you how to play with your toys. I like to say that to people about dioramas. And so I designed the window piece. That was the first piece we put out. It's the window, and it's got these nice pillars on them with these spirals at the top. Designed it, sent him to The Amazing. He, used them in his photography, which is the best advertising in the world. And, we put up an order just like through Instagram, and we got out of hand real quick. I don't remember how many of those we did. I cut off the orders at one point in time, and then I had to open them back up. At that point, we decided we're going to do the website because I was literally just sending Instagram messages all day. It was crazy. But from a design standpoint, I have to look at something like, okay, how many pieces is this going to be to do? How, price wise, how can I price this where it's affordable for people and we can push it out at volume? So when I sit down to design something, I'm telling you all that to say, now I have to think about, okay, it took me this long to make this once. If I need to do this 100 times, so I have to think in scale a lot more. So like for the set that's out now, the complex. So if you look at the piece that the door slides in, the airlock frame is what we call that. So you've got the piece of foam, you've got a grate insert at the top, 2 panels at the top, one of which is customizable by the customer. Then you've got the 4 pieces of acrylic with the honeycomb pattern, and 4 pieces of trim that go in those holes, and 4 magnets that go into it. And then there's the 2 pillars that go on that, and there's 4 magnets in that. I lost the count there. There's a lot of pieces in that.
Yeah.
So I have to think about, well, okay, we're going to do this on this machine and this on this machine. It's going to take this long to do. The honeycomb takes 2 hours to do 10 sets. Okay, I know that. It takes, this long on the router to do this. So I'm trying to coordinate everything, figure out the best way to do it where it makes the most sense. I'm really into workflow. Like, you do this, and then this happens, and this happens. So it doesn't get disturbed, and we can have a quick thing. Because something we really pride ourselves on is a quick turnaround. If you order something from us, the most you're going to wait is like 60 days. And that's rare that it's pushed out that far. We normally try to push stuff out in 30 days. Wow. And I don't know if you guys have ever ordered custom anything from anybody.
Yeah.
You don't get it that quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, there's been a lot of bad apples in the diorama industry, I'll say, that have either taken people's money and disappeared, or taken people's work orders and vanished and, into thin air. And those, a lot of the time I know about that is because people, hey, do you know so-and-so? Yeah. I mean, I don't know him. I know who he is. Well, I gave him $400 2 years ago, and he's not returning my messages.
Dang. Oh.
So I don't want to be that guy.
That sounds like the lightsaber industry.
Oh.
Everybody wants to go through. What is the one? I can't
Saber Forge,
Ultra Saber. Don't the one that shall not be named because they're so horrible at customer service.
Is that the one that's like, if you order from their website, you'll never get it, but if you order through their Etsy store, you'll get it?
Probably.
I know one of them's.
I ordered before I knew about them. I ordered a lightsaber from them, and because it was like when the pandemic started, and I was like, I want something to do. So I ordered something that we could just beat up in the backyard, just have fun with.
Sure.
And they're like, they promised like 3 to 4 weeks or something. And the company's literally like 15 minutes down the road from me. I didn't get the lightsabers until 6 months later. Wow. Something like that. Something crazy like that.
See, I don't like doing that to people. If it's something that's like, look, it's going to be 6 months before you get this, I want to be able to tell you that up front.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to keep pushing delays. It's almost an epidemic in the custom figure arena where that happens. I know so many people that do custom stuff that are 6, 8, 12 months behind. And at a certain point, that's got to get just so, and they're still taking orders. And people are still giving them money. And I'm guilty of it too. That I'll just like, oh, well, I'll get it when I get it. But I'm of that mindset too, or, I understand it's custom work and it's going to take you a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do, because I do the kyber crystals. So I'll do a run at a time, like a limit. I do them limited edition, and I'm like, here's the number. Once those are all sold, I'm not making any more. So I'll do like last time I did 100, a smaller one. Man, what did I do, man? Like 3 weeks or something?
Well, and they knew that it was going to be.
Yeah, I said, this is how long.
So,
and then I got them too early. Yeah, I don't like to. I'd rather, I think I said it would take 6 weeks, but I got them to them in like 3 weeks. And then they're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Don't set the bar too high, though.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Cool. So what's some of your favorites that you've done over the years?
Oh man, the Popeye Dock.
Oh, cool.
I like the Popeye Dock a lot. So it was the first thing we did for Mezco was SDCC 2019. They wanted individual bases for 37 figures. And we had, I think, 45 days to do it.
Wow.
That was the first time I really tested the capacity of the router we had at the time. We have 2 now. But that was because I was, working at the time still and traveling for work, and I was working, cut stuff out and tell my wife, all right, this is what needs to get painted this way. And the Popeye Bluto set that's come out since then was the one that honestly was one of the last ones I did. And it was like I struggled with what to do. I was having the hardest time. And I finally found some inspiration pictures online and like, all right, we're going to do this. And they loved it. And everybody loved it. like, okay, I want to flip it backwards and sell it. So done 2 production runs on that. I like that piece a lot. I like the doors we did for the Mythic Pieces set, which gosh, I think we did like 115 sets of those doors. But you know, it's so cool just to see that everywhere, and there's a lot of I'd say almost iconic shots that have been. D-Amazing did the Nosferatu pictures for Mezco with it. Actually got one of those pictures framed in my basement here. Just a silhouette shot. I like you know, some of the stuff we did for Mezco, like the New York Comic Con 2019. We did a 4-foot wide DC set that was like rooftops, and then we did like a city street destroyed scene for the Marvel stuff. Cool. I really liked those as well. You know, the gold pile we did for Toy Fair, I really liked that. So
there's a couple people in the comments saying Realm.
There you go, man. So I'm a proud part of the Realm of Collectors group, which I told them to come show out tonight in the chat here. So that's Dust and Frogman here, a couple of our guys. What's up, guys?
I had to say it like that because there was like
you can't say it anywhere else.
5 L's.
You can't say realm.
Yeah.
Or realm.
Realm. Anyway,
you guys got it down pat.
Yeah, those Mythic Pieces. I have a. You probably can't see in the camera, but behind me on top of my shelf, I have a bunch of the Lord of the Rings figures, the cool ones that came out. And it's the I think it's one of the Battle of Helm's Deep or something.
Okay,
but it's got a bunch of the. I think I bought every version of the ring race that they had, so they're on one side and it's a big battle. I'm like, oh, those pieces will look cool with that.
Nice.
But those are some of my favorite figures ever made. I think those Lord of the Rings figures.
The Toy Biz stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's the ones that came out with the movies.
Yes, those are. There's some nice pieces in there. I know the horses are very coveted by the Mythic Legions crowd.
Yeah, we've got a few of the horses and the Nazgul and all kinds of stuff. But they're hard to see. They're way back there on top of the shelf. As I'm moving my camera. So do you have any dream builds that you haven't done that you've just always dreamt that this is sort of my holy grail, this is what I want to do?
Man, the sky's really the limit. I don't have anything in particular that I'm, a dream build. I would ultimately like to produce some vehicles. I don't know how exactly that will work, but that isn't part of the 12 scale business that is challenging for most people to find anything because it's either too little or too big, or the doors don't open, and you can shove a figure in there, but it doesn't quite look right. Your F-150 looks like a Ford Ranger instead, right? So that kind of stuff. So ultimately I'd love to be able to figure out a way to do something like that. But I love sci-fi stuff, and maybe some more technical sci-fi pieces, maybe to go along with what we're already doing at the moment, or maybe something completely different. So sky is the limit, truly, on what we can do.
Is there a brand that you want to work with?
Oh man, working with Mezco has been really the first time I worked for them. I'm like, well, where do we go from here? So it's one of my favorite brands. I've got a ridiculous Mezco collection. I think I bought everything they had that came out last year. I have at least one of. My stuff's been used for the Mythic Legions promo picks as well. Trevor from 1/6 Shooter did their promo picks and used some of the Mythic pieces. That's really the companies that I follow. Probably getting some official Star Wars something or another, or GI Joe would be really cool to be able to do that.
I saw that on your YouTube page. You have a bunch of GI Joe the new ones that you reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Were you big? Yeah. Were you big in GI Joe when you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had the aircraft carrier. My brother and I had the aircraft carrier. We had all the planes, everything. I mean, it was stupid how much we had.
I
like
have the
100
aircraft carrier upstairs right now in my son's room.
Nice.
Takes up half of his room, but he loves it.
There you go. Yeah.
He doesn't need a bed. He's fine.
Yeah,
right.
he can
Sleeps
lay
on the
on
aircraft
there. There you go.
But I've got all my old GI Joes, like bags of them, and I've replaced all the rubber
O-rings.
bands inside, the
Right.
O-rings. Replaced them all because they were just all like gnarly and just they were hanging. All their limbs are just hanging out. So he's got all those. Yeah, I loved GI Joe growing up.
I hate that I got rid of mine. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, I had a shoebox of them, and I'd gotten to where I didn't play with them as army guys. I played with them as wrestlers.
Nice.
Well, Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, he was a GI Joe.
Well, yeah, there was another guy that had it's like a center block on a stick that he had these big muscles. I can't think of his name right now, but
not War Pig.
He had the helmet with the spikes.
I know who you're talking about. He was one of the Dreadnoks that came out later in the line.
Maybe. I don't know. And then there was the boxer guy that was I just saw him earlier too.
Big Boa.
Big Boa, yeah, that was the other one.
Did you know that was they had initially gone after a Rocky Balboa license, and that was what they did with that mold. Because they already had the mold. They just slapped a goofy head on it and rolled with it.
There you go.
It worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my son. He's 6 years old, and one of the first things he's like, "Why did this guy have boxing gloves?"
Yeah, how did he use the bathroom with the boxing gloves?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, I don't know. He just has boxing gloves. He's like, oh, okay. But yeah, so you said Star Wars, GI Joe. Is that the sort of what you grew up? The action figures you grew up on?
Yeah, GI Joe, Transformers. The Masters of the Universe. That was the stuff that I really, played with as a kid. Those three lines really had probably the most impact as a child. So
yeah,
cool. And you're sort of like us. You just kept all of us. Kept that up. I mean, with what you do.
Yeah. So I never really stopped collecting. I remember in high school, Kenner Alien Predator stuff was coming out, and I was buying it. And I'm a big wrestling fan, so I collected in my early 20s the Jakks Pacific Bone Cruncher wrestlers. And,
yes.
I had a ridiculous amount of those at one point in time. And, it's always been something. I've hopped it between different stuff over the years. I had a pretty decent Transformers Masterpiece collection at one point, and it's all, I think I've got 2 pieces left from that. Moved on to other things, more along the lines of what lines up with what I'm building, which seems to be mostly the 12th scale stuff, 6-inch stuff.
I'm right there with you. I got all my wrestling figures back there because I'm big into wrestling. So now we're just going to talk about wrestling. So
that's fine.
Adrian and Kris,
we
can talk about wrestling all night.
So did you watch Bash at the Beach or whatever it was? For
Absolutely, I did. Kenta came out at the end.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. It's too bad Mox didn't sell that GTS any better than that.
I know.
Now we're getting in the weeds. We better just stop. We don't want to lose the crowd here.
Anyways, I'm a big, probably Star Wars. Star Wars is my favorite movie or movies, and then Ghostbusters is right behind that. So I've got a ton of the Ghostbusters stuff. So when the new stuff came out, I was like, oh man, now I'm gonna have to buy that. It's like, come on.
How many sets? There was like 4 sets of the Ghostbusters that came out. Like it seemed like within 2 years.
Yeah.
Between them changing licenses, and then Mezco put out a set, and Blitzway did the 6-scale stuff, and it's like, geez, that's a lot of Ghostbusters.
I started getting into because just like my brother and everything, he got all the GI Joe stuff. I got all the Ninja Turtle stuff, but still just collecting stuff and everything. And then like when I was I got to go to Comic-Con quite a few years, and the Bluefin line of toys, if you know those, I really started getting into those, and like just because like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh boy, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and just the articulation you could get with their stuff is just amazing to me. And so I
Yeah, the
always had
SH
to
figure
get
art stuff is pretty
the
good.
SH figures. Yeah. I always got them through Bluefin. Bluefin always has a big booth there that I just like went and just like, okay, I want that. I want that.
Right.
Isn't it funny though how the toys now that are like you said articulated and stuff, the ones that look good, basically they're designed for people like us, and it's not for kids anymore. It seems like whenever I go to like a toy store to be like, let's look at stuff, the people that are walking down the aisles are people like me. It's not little kids.
Yeah, you always give them that shifty side eye look, like, what have you found that I haven't found?
Yeah.
Or you meet interesting characters standing out in front of a Target waiting on it to open to buy to try to buy one of the Vipers or whatever.
Yeah, at least Brian and Catherine, they have kids they can take with them. I don't. So I'm just kind of like there by myself in the aisle.
Oh my! Listen, my kids don't care about toys. All they play is video game, Roblox and Minecraft. So my oldest does somewhat. I mean, he knows what's going on, and he collects some Marvel Legends, Spider-Man stuff. Mm-hmm. But my other two don't care about toys at all. And I'm back from Target by the time they get out of bed anyway. So.
Is there a toy that you had when you were a kid that you wish you still had?
Probably my Silverhawks.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They just didn't age well.
Yeah.
That vac metal stuff was so cool, but I remember getting a scratch on one of them, and I'm like, oh man, now he's got a scratch, and that's all I'm gonna see. Those were cool toys, but the thing about the world we live in now is anything is available. Yeah. I mean, if you want some obscure Canada only release of some toy line nobody remembers, you're gonna find it on eBay if you look hard enough. Yeah, you can even find like the sculpts of the figures. It's just crazy. It's like, this sculpt of the figure was found in the back of this warehouse, and now we're selling it for like $10,000. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, really? Yep. It's crazy. Yep. My wife collects this. You guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Sanrio. The company makes Hello Kitty. Yeah. She had this. There was a character that they've since retired named Zashi Kabuta. This pig. And she has found things you would have never imagined people would have guessed. Stationery, silliest little. But she had a lot of this as a kid because there was a Sanrio store in the town she grew up in, and the mall, and they'd go and you could buy pencils and erasers and all that. If you've ever been to a Sanrio store, you know the vibe. But she's found, and she's figured out ways to buy stuff from countries using brokers and all. I'm like, what? It's crazy. But yeah, you can buy anything. Like the word grail, I often say to people, I don't know that there are grails anymore in collecting. It's just having enough money to buy it. That's true. The only grail I've heard of that I think was truly a grail is a friend of mine recently went to Japan, and I've never been to Japan, but there's a toy district. Like you go in these toy stores and there's just piles and piles and he found this thing that was unobtainable for like basically, a little bit more than what retail would have been years ago. And he bought it, and that was a grail to him. But like people are like, oh, this is my grail. I'm like, well, that just came out at retail. That's not what that word means.
Do you know the future or something?
Yeah. It's my future grail.
In 20 years, it's going to be worth a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because when episode 1 came out, I bought every Star Wars thing that came out. Guess what?
Oh, brother, I did too.
They're all sitting in a box over here.
They didn't even hold their value. So
no.
Yeah, those $5 figures aren't worth $4.
I know. Yeah, not even that probably.
No.
It's like taking a game into GameStop. We'll give you $3.
Yeah, just buy the stock instead.
That's right.
Or you would have been all right for that week.
Yeah. You did buy every Jar Jar you ever came across, though. So, I mean,
I thought he was going to be the next Darth Vader, No.
Everybody's going to love him.
Well, since you're a Star Wars fan, you'll get a kick out of this. I do have a pretty obscure collection, Star Wars-wise. I think I have over 30 Constable Zuvio figures.
Why?
Why not? Right?
I mean, at one point they were literally like $3 a piece places.
Yeah.
And I'd go into some of the Facebook groups and be like, I'll buy your Constable Zuvios for $5 shipped, and people sold them to me. I have one in the package and it's completely beat, but I'm thinking about sending it away to get it graded just because it's so ridiculous. But then he shows up in The Mandalorian, and maybe those are worth more than $3 a piece now.
So. Maybe so.
Well, if you own all of them, then
yeah,
it makes it worth more, right?
I'm going to corner the market on Zuvios.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's only 400,000 of them in the world.
I've got a mispackaged. It's C-3PO, but it's Anakin's package. And I was like, oh man, this is cool. And I showed it to somebody, like a collector person, and they're like, yeah, it's not worth anything. And I'm like,
yeah,
well, it's cool to me.
Right. Hey, if you like it, you win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
C-3PO it's cool. It's because Anakin's the one that made him. So it's in Anakin's package.
That's what you did there, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Anyways, I don't know. That's just me. So what else do you geek out about? We like to ask people, besides, obviously you geek out about all this cool stuff. Is there something else that just like you geek out about that you would, I don't know, like to talk about?
Oh man. So I geek out about tools a lot more than I used to. Some of my friends often joke that this is my collection room will just become one big workshop, which I guess it's kind of happening, but I like to learn how to do new stuff. Like I've taught myself poorly how to use Fusion 360 and poorly how to use Illustrator, basically out of a necessity to be able to do some things myself. What I'm geeking out on recently, there's a show on Amazon, and I feel like a lousy preacher because I feel like I tell everybody about this and nobody ever seems to bite. But there's a show on Amazon. It's called The Expanse. It is a sci-fi show. It's set about 200-300 years in the future. It nails the science without being nerdy. Sorry, any Star Trek fans in the I just can't deal with the amount of nerdiness with Star Trek, but The Expanse just really hits a home run. They just wrapped up the 5th season. It's a phenomenal show. It's based on some books. I've been reading the books. I sent my dad one of the books down at the what do they call where are they at?
The RV
RV park.
Oh, it's like the convent. What are they? I'm kidding. It's not and it's not a trailer park either.
That's right.
I'm kidding. It's at the RV camp. I said my dad loves to read, so I sent him one of the books. So that's something I'm really geeking out on lately.
I'll have to check
I've heard that's really good. Yeah, I haven't tried it out, but I have heard that's a good show.
Yeah, I started it over this week since the season 5 wrapped up. So some incredible acting, just in the special effects. They do a lot of practical effects, and I get ideas from stuff like that. I like Adam Savage a lot. I watch Tested a lot. And part of the reason I got into The Expanse the way I did is he had done some on-set stuff a while back. Some of the ways that they were doing some of the tech looking stuff. Like they all have these light up boots, and the light up boots are a $11 light out of a slap bracelet that they bought a ton of instead of having to wire batteries up to these people.
That's cool.
Just so silly little things like that. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much keep busy with the hobby and the business side of things, and I'm not in that. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I don't golf.
We hunt. We just hunt for action
Well,
figures.
we hunt for action figures. I know I used to be in the cars, but now it's just the car seems to just be point A to point B kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I watch a lot of silly TV. I watch a lot of just dumb sitcoms like the Goldbergs and crap like that.
It's little known fact. Ryan was basically Barry when he was younger. Yeah, he
Barry
was.
has one shirt that's the same shirt that I wore when I was a kid, and now I'm Barry all of a sudden.
No, it's not just that. You got some professional pictures taken at the mall one time. Like there's various storylines, and like I'm pretty sure Ryan did that.
Does that make you Adam then?
No, he's like.
Well, I mean, I did go into the movie business, so yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I guess so. Oh.
We don't have a middle brother. So
You do
I
have that
patron is
lazy eye. I don't.
I do have the. I mean,
Hey.
You guys aren't from outside of Philly,
people
are
with
you?
lazy eyes.
No, Tennessee. I'm in Texas. Well,
we're both in Texas now.
Which is it?
we grew up in Tennessee.
Which part of Tennessee?
Johnson City.
East Tennessee.
Oh man, met at a truck stop in Johnson City, Tennessee. Although I don't think there's a truck stop in Johnson City. I used to work in Johnson City.
Oh really?
I had a job one time. So I'm from Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
The Rocket City, if
Yeah.
you didn't know that. And I worked for. I joke that I used to be in the film industry myself, as I was in the video rental industry, but it's still the film industry. Okay, let's keep it straight here, folks.
I worked at a movie theater, so I mean that was definitely
you've been in the film industry several times, but I at one point was a district manager for a video chain. I was based out of Knoxville, and I covered from Crossville all the way to Johnson City.
Nice.
It was those silly little video stores that were inside of Walmart's. Blowout Video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the company I worked for had purchased them. Boy, that was
terrible.
A cluster truck if I've ever driven one. Anyways, so that was the time I spent in Johnson City, Tennessee.
There you go.
I'm actually from Maryville, and I live in Memphis now. But
Okay.
we all met in Johnson City.
I used to work a job where I was in Memphis a lot. So I've covered the bases a lot in the South, up and down running the roads for different jobs I've had over the years.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I have two kids that don't let me sleep at night, so.
Oh, and Ryan also runs like Barry, so that's.
No, I do not run like Barry.
It's like a modified Naruto run.
I actually run really fast.
Like Barry.
No, I don't swing my arms around.
You guys ever smash fruit at the 7-Eleven or?
No.
I've actually been to. I've been to Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. It's a real place.
Yeah, it's a real place. Yeah. I've never been to Jenkintown, so I don't know how it could be based on me. How did this turn into let's bash Ryan the whole time?
No, not bad.
There's gonna be a lot of editing in this episode.
It's usually bash me, so it's turnabout's fair play.
So. We never bash you.
Okay.
No, never.
You do
Just
that
make
to
fun of me.
Random question: Have you
myself.
been watching WandaVision?
I have. Yep, I'm completely caught up on WandaVision. I'm looking forward to watching episode 5.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. I've enjoyed it. I know lots of people have been just super confused about the whole thing. But that's something my wife and my oldest son and I sit down and watch together every week. My son, he doesn't collect them quite as much as he used to, but he still keeps up with the Funko Pop game, so to speak. And he keeps every week. He's like, I just got spoiled. I'm like, spoiled for what? WandaVision. What now? There's a pop. Like, quit looking at the pop, dude. You want to be spoiled.
I know nowadays you have to, like, when the Mandalorian was the season 2 started, or in season 1, it's like if you don't watch it right the moment it comes on, and if you get online at all the next morning, it's spoiled for you.
So so that's something else. My wife and I watched that together, but I told her, I was like, as soon as I wake up on Friday, I'm watching it, and I'll watch it with you again later, because I always watch it 2 or 3 times anyway, because first thing in the morning, you check your phone, like, nope. Go watch The Mandalorian. Get your coffee, watch The Mandalorian, and then look at people complaining.
That's the bad thing about us doing the podcast on Thursday nights is because after this, I'll edit it and get it all ready, and then I'll look at the time and I'll be like, it's just a couple
Should I stay
hours. I
up?
should just stay up and watch so it doesn't get spoiled for me. And then
What
it's like
time's that West Coast midnight happen?
So it's like 2 a.m. here, and I'm like, it's not too bad, 2 a.m. So I'll use it.
It is bad.
I'll try tonight. Who knows? I may be watching WandaVision at 2 a.m. because I loved it from episode 1. I was hooked episode 1. I was like, I'm getting off the trails here, but I was just like, this show's gonna be cool.
Well, I mean, it's just so outside the box.
Oh yeah.
I think people that don't. I think some people were expecting it to be more of the what Marvel has been for the past 10 years, and it's not. Now they're tying it around where it's going to make hopefully some sense, but and I've enjoyed it as well. And it's nice to see Elizabeth Olsen kind of spread her wings a little bit.
Yeah.
She's not really, done a lot in the MCU other than just be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty tragic life so far we've known her as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if you guys have any questions or comments, put them in the oh, something popped up. 2 a.m. Yeah. Put them in the thing. So I screamed out realm earlier. What exactly is realm?
So
What did I do?
What did I scream?
Did he somehow join some cult?
What were we talking about earlier?
Well, listen, all I need you to do is find 4 people to put underneath you. And then we can all start making money here. You guys interested in a new way to make money while you're working from home?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a pyramid. It's more like a rhombus because there's like 4 of us at the top. No, the Realm of Collectors is a group of like-minded collectors. We have a Facebook group, Realm of Collectors. It's not a huge group. I think there's like 2,500 people in there. We don't sell or anything in there. We have a separate buy-sell trade group. But it's, it started out with just a couple people, and we have a channel on YouTube here, Realm of Collectors. We have a show using this same YouTube format, live show. We do a live show on Mondays, Enter the Realm on Mondays. Then there's a Breaking the Mold is on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays we have either one of 2 shows, Figa Bangin', which is a live review show unlike anything you've ever seen. And the opposite week there's a show called Shelf Gravy, which some more diorama artists that we have in our group, Chan and JD, they do something either custom figure or diorama related, and they like paint something up or build something. And Friday we have the Nerd Life Syndicate show, and then we have other hangouts and stuff peppered throughout the week. So it started out just some friends kind of getting together online, and then it became meetups. It started out based around the Transformers hobby, really. So there's an unofficial Transformers convention every year called TFCon. It has been routinely in Chicago. It's actually a Canadian convention, but then they've done one in Chicago and they do one in like DC, and they kind of bounce back and forth between those. COVID obviously happened, so nothing happened last year. But we normally have we've kind of rebranded it the International Realm of Collectors Meetup. So it's the IROC meetup because we had people literally from all over the world would come to this. Yeah, they're coming for the convention, but they're coming to hang out, coming to meet people in person, build relationships. The majority of the friends I have online, I've met through the Realm of Collectors group.
That's cool.
I moved to Maryland based on friendships I had that were within arm's reach of, where we decided to live based on the friends I made in that group.
Oh, that's cool.
As we get older, and you guys know this, you can't talk to people you work with about, dude, did you see those new Batman figures? Oh my God. There may be one guy you find in IT or something that's into that, but the majority of people are like, what the hell are you talking about? So
I get it. Like we moved to Houston for my wife's job. So I sort of just became the stay-at-home dad because we have 2 little ones. And so like all my neighbors, like none of them are into anything that I'm in. Sure. So they're like, so what you do? And I tell them stuff. Oh, podcast, huh? Yeah. Oh, you like Star Wars? Okay. You want to talk about
Gotta
football?
go.
I'm like, not really. Okay, we'll see you later.
You know, it's
So,
funny. I don't watch sports at all.
yeah.
Like occasionally I'll watch something if it just happens to be on. I couldn't tell you last time I seeked out a sports other than wrestling.
Oh yeah, wrestling.
But you know, that's when I used to like. I don't even when it is normal times. My job doesn't require. I don't go to a office. I don't interact with. Hey Bob, how's it going? You know, I see the water cooler got. You know, I don't have to do that. So those are conversations about. Oh, did you see the game last night? No, I didn't. Oh, did you see the NASCAR? No, I don't. I don't know who. No, I don't know who won the Heisman Trophy. Sorry, I just don't keep up with it anymore.
Just be like, yeah, I watched Battle Boss last night. Yeah,
No, but I watched this YouTube video about these guys using nothing but primitive tools to dig a pond. It's really neat. You know,
Yeah.
So my next question is, how much is it for me to join Realm? Where do I sign up? And you know, is it all up front or can I do payments?
so we have a payment plan. My guy Dustin, we have a big joke where he does for a limited time only, easy pay, 42 payments of $49.99. You know, no, it doesn't cost anything. So just the group is right. It's the Realm of Collectors. One of my associates here would drop that in the chat here. We can have the link right there.
Yeah.
Is it how many? If I'm looking it up or somebody's googling it, how many L's and how many M's do I have to type?
It's not. It's just the word Realm.
FlexPay.
FlexPay. There we go.
So it's the FlexPay.
we have
a good
butler
time
for a week. That's all. It's just a slight hazing process.
I mean, this is right up my alley. This is like I'm definitely going to look this up, and
you definitely should. We have a good time. We have a good time on the shows, and we have a good time, you know, in the groups, and some of the guys are actually. There's a small toy show in New Jersey this weekend, and a lot of us are based in the Northeast-ish area, so. They're trying the first, I guess, masked COVID protocol kind of meetup this weekend at the Wayne Toy Show in lovely Wayne in New Jersey at the PAL Center this Saturday, I guess the 6th. It's a bit too far for me to drive in one day, so I'll just tip my hat and tell everyone hello. Maybe next time we'll get together, but it's been tough. I think, you know, it's probably on a lot of communities, but our community was pretty heavy based on meetups and seeing each other. And, you know, it's like, well, we haven't done that in so long, you know, here and there you'll see somebody, you know, one of my buddies, Jose from New York City he had come down to see his parents, or his mother rather not far from where we live. And he came up for the day, and it's like, it's just so strange, man. Such a different world.
Yeah, it is.
Because we were getting together like 6-7 times a year, you know, as a group, 5, 6, 8, 12, 100 of us sometimes. Wow. So that's been tough not having that connection, you know. But at least we have this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, and just think about if this had happened, you know, even 10 years ago, we would have been squinting at people's pictures and fuzzy Nokia connections.
It is weird. Yeah, I miss the convention times of the year. We do a convention called Comic Palooza, and we'll go and do a live podcast and everything here in Houston. And so they canceled it last year, and they started advertising for it this year. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know. They just canceled the rodeo, so.
Oh well, the rodeo. You might as well just shut down the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodeo they announced it, and now yesterday they canceled it. So
Texas is closed.
Texas is closed. Well, cool. Well, I don't think there's any more questions except for Realm.
There's a ring dusted in there too.
Ring?
Something else.
Yeah, Dust is making jokes. So it was originally years ago. It was called the Ring of Collectors. It was a wrestling based group. In the first couple episodes of the podcast we did Into the Realm. It's I how many episodes we're on. We're over 5 years on that show.
Wow.
Dustin and I have been there since the beginning, and early on, we both seemed to struggle with saying Realm of Collectors and kept saying Ring of Collectors, so it just kind of stuck as a joke between that and the Flex Pay. So,
since you mentioned wrestling again, we'll end on this. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time, and who do you think is the up and coming guy that's going to blow everybody away?
Oh man, my favorite wrestler of all time. You know, I ran a wrestling promotion.
Oh, cool. Well,
for a while down in Alabama, where I'm from.
We got to do another hour on that.
Well, we could. And I actually wrestled myself for a while. I actually I have a little shrine right around the corner here of our championship belts. And
what was your name? Your
wrestling name? It was Kris Castle, and I spelled it with a C because you know why. A favorite wrestler of all time. I mean, it's hard for me to pick just one. Gosh, I don't know. People have asked me this before, and I always get stuck on it. I always liked watching Hayabusa, Japanese wrestler who tragically broke his neck in the ring. Eddie Guerrero. I always liked Eddie Guerrero a lot.
Wow.
I think those are kind of some gimmies. As far as up and comers now, man, I look at a lot of the guys in AEW because, God bless, these guys in WWE, like Dijakovic, the guy that was in NXT, and now he's wearing a mask, acting like a moron on TV. I'm like, what are you doing? This guy was
never decided to call somebody slapjack. Needs to be just taken out.
I think, and I don't know what happened to Keith Lee. He's just vanished. But I look at. And I don't quite understand the farm system or whatever they're doing in AEW. I guess it's Cody Rhodes School. But like Jungle Boy, I think, has a lot of potential. And did you know that he is Luke Perry of 90210's fame's son? Yeah. I did not know that till I watched the You Cannot Kill David Arquette documentary. About him in pro wrestling.
You get a lot of when he talks. When Jungle Boy talks, it's like, okay, yeah, there it is.
I didn't know, but now that I know it, I can't unsee it.
Right.
There's a couple other guys. Brian Pillman's son, I think.
Oh yeah.
He tags with this other kid named, what's that guy?
The person that everybody calls Jungle Boy.
Oh, the guy with the great hair. Yeah. My wife's like, oh my God, his hair is great. I think them growing homegrown stars over there in AEW is going to make a huge difference in the industry. So I'm really enjoying watching what those guys are coming up with every week. It's just their women's division needs a lot of work, but other than that, they're just putting on a great product, and I'm really enjoying it as a fan and as somebody who has seen the dark side of the business, quite honestly, to see, how much good they seem to be doing for the business.
Yeah. Let's just say AEW, I watched the whole thing. WWE now, I just sort of fast forward through.
I mean, I watch Wrestle Talk as the guys I watch on YouTube, and they're I think either half or 3/4 of YouTube is British. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I love hearing British people talk, but I watch them pretty much every day, and they do decent recaps of everything. So I've gotten where like I only want to see certain spots. Like on SmackDown, I just want to see the Roman Reigns stuff just because it's interesting. Yeah. That's really all I want to see of that. But unfortunately, there's no way to just see that. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried my hand at wrestling a little bit, but not as much as you. I did a wrestling school with Booker T, which was
Father Time,
which
is funny.
Just like
Booker T.
Yeah, because he's here in Houston.
Sure.
It was like a camp thing. I was everybody in the camp was 20 years old, and I was 40 years old.
Oh, did you throw up?
No. I outlasted a bunch of the 20-year-olds.
Really?
And they gave me the nickname Father Time.
Nice.
Which was fun. And it was just a dream to run the ropes, so that was fun to do.
Yeah. It all that hurts a lot more than people.
I can imagine.
bumping at my age now. Just Jesus. You know, my brother-in-law wrestled for a long time. He did the deathmatch circuit. And you can look him up. It's Insane Lane here on YouTube. If you would like to see someone bleed, he's actually making a comeback. At 40 years old, he's lost about 100 pounds. Probably in the best shape he's been in a long time. So check him out for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kris, for joining us tonight. It's been fun.
Yeah, no problem. When's the wrestling episode?
I'm all about that. In the comments, if you want a wrestling episode, we'll bring Kris back on and we'll talk wrestling, and my brother Kris can just take a nap or something.
It gets to be too many Chris's in here. So like I'm willing to step back for an episode.
There you go. Such a sweet man.
Yeah.
Oh, I could talk wrestling
just
all
for
day
you,
long.
Barry. I mean Ryan.
Oh gosh. I know where you live.
I am on another podcast, Nerd Rage Radio, with Bobby Skullface, and Joe KW. It's a weekly podcast. We don't do YouTube. It's been dubbed a nerd lifestyle podcast. I don't really know what that means. But it's a lot of fun too. And both of the shows are not for children. We don't censor ourselves at all. There's no mother truckers on those shows. But if you are old enough to know better and still too young to care, you can find us on all those platforms.
Cool. So your dad is in the comments. And
well, it took him 5 years of me podcasting to find the show.
He's enjoying this a lot more than he expected, so that's good.
Well, good. That's good. That's good.
So, is it Pinkerton?
Well, the cat's out of the bag. So it's Pinkerton or Plinkerton, Pinkerstun.
Wow.
We've gotten everything.
It doesn't look that difficult.
It's not. It's 3 syllables.
So, Mr. Pinkerton, you're welcome to watch iamGEEK every week.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Dad, don't listen to my other podcast. No, I'm kidding. They're a lot of fun all the way around.
Well, cool. Kris, you're welcome back anytime. If you want to come back and talk wrestling, if you want to talk whatever you want to talk, you're welcome to come back and just hang out with us. But thank you again. And then
tell us where people can find you.
Tell us where people can find you.
Yeah, so Crashbox Customs all across the fruited plain. Shout out to Rigby's. And if you want to talk to me in particular, it's Kris Pinkerton on the Facebooks. If you want to get down like that, but Crashbox Customs on Instagram, and Facebook is where we do most of our business. CrashboxCustoms.com if you want to look at what we have currently available to order, and we also have some archives there, some other work we've done that may or may not make an appearance at some point. So thanks again for having me, guys. Oh, and check out The Realm. If we didn't talk about The Realm of Collectors. Realm of Collectors.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to give them, all the money.
Yeah.
Pay your dues.
And listen, I need your 4 people that we're going to put underneath you. Put 4 people underneath.
2 here, so I just need 2 more.
You've got 2 kids.
Okay.
Well, listen, those 4 people need 4 people, so make sure they're not all too close to you. Don't want any overlap with 4 people.
Oh my gosh!
I made this joke. We were at one of the conventions one year, and I walked around to everybody that I know, and I was asking them this question. I'm like, do you have 4? 4 people? Why? Like, I'm setting up a network. Or what are we? And one of our buddies, I won't say his name, but he was like in a real tizzy. But he's like, well, what are we selling? Nothing yet, Chuck. We're just setting up the network first. And then we're going to figure out how we're going to take money from people. So you have an idea and 4 people. Maybe you need to have 8 people. Yeah. But thank you for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun. It is past my bedtime.
Yeah.
But it was worth staying up to talk to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. This has been episode 179 of I Am Geek, and we will be talking with you next week. All right, we're still on YouTube. That's done. So bye, YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ram!
Realm.
I can't wait to become a member.
Oh man, it's 7 easy steps. Just need your social security number.
Okay.
Your banking information.
Gotcha.
The number
no
2.
big deal.
Yeah, your IP address to your router.
Okay, I can do that.
Are you really gonna make me come up with 7 things? A hair sample.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I knew I'd get you on that. I can't say much. I'm pretty shiny on top as well. So that's something I got blessed with. So it's all right.
Yeah, we did too. For Catron.
Yeah. His luxurious locks.
He'll get there though.
Oh, it's getting there.
He'll get there.
So my whole family is my brother, my dad, everybody's lost it. So I'm next in line.
We've got to deal with his wife to kind of pluck out hairs while he's sleeping at night to
Oh wow,
get it further along.
that's horrible.
It's true.
Absolutely horrible.
Thanks for all the new people on the live chat.
Yeah, thanks for
I
joining.
think some of my realm brethren are very confused about you record the show inside of the YouTube, which is a unique way to do it.
Well, I record separately for the podcast, but when COVID hit, we realized that a lot of people weren't listening to podcasts because they weren't driving to work, but they were watching YouTube. So we decided to do a live stream of our recording. So I still record the podcast separate. So that's on a different recorder over here.
Right.
So I'll edit all the different tracks and stuff. And then we do it on YouTube so people that are just sitting at home can just comment and have fun with this. And so
yeah, that's cool.
Something different.
So the realm shows are I don't even know. There's some magic that happens there that I don't quite understand. I know the audio gets ripped from YouTube to Podbean and all the other places podcasts go to live. But Dustin, our buddy Ace Milo, does all that good stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do all that fun stuff. Well, cool. All right. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but
you guys are right on path. You got the battle cry down.
All right. Thank you, man, for joining us.
No problem.
If you ever need anything from us, just let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. Bye, moms.
Bye, moms and dad.
All right. And we are.